He is, of course, the champion of 2013 BlizzCon, and he wants to do it all over again. On the left top side of Cactus Valley, we're looking at the main base of the Protoss that's representing my insanity. Give it up for Rain. I'm not the only Rain fan in the building, Nate.
Yeah, quite a few cheers, you know. It's not like I have anything against Rain, Roddy. It's just, if I know my Protoss, I'd say the cheekier ones are the ones that have a bit more danger to them, and SOS is probably the cheekiest player here if we're not looking at life.
That is true, but you can't possibly have something against Rain. If you have something against Rain, you just hate StarCraft.
Guy, Kev, I would never, even though he plays Protoss, I'll let it slide.
And he plays beautiful Protoss as well. Now, our first map is going to be Cactus Valley, as we all can see, and that's an interesting map immediately. We saw the vetoes, both players getting rid of the kind of crazier maps out there. You know, veto Dash and Terminal, and also vetoed Moonlight Madness. So that means we have a very standard 5 map pool over here. Kind of gives me the idea that both of these guys are very confident in this matchup and in this series in particular, saying let's get rid of the crazy maps, let's keep it as standard as possible.
All right, so this gets to be the really fun part, Kev, where I ask you, what does Rain like to do? I'm sure you've seen every game he's played on all of these maps pretty much ever. Talk to me.
Yeah, but you still have to switch it up. You can't be too predictable. Now, Cactus Valley is one of the larger maps out there, so it's very likely we see at least one Stargate opening. I wouldn't mind seeing it from Rain, but I think SOS is capable of doing it as well. Sometimes players like to go up to DTs very quickly. Some people go 1 gate fast expand Robo, but I think it's a little bit risky because Stargate is so popular. And then you have the Protosses who are like, well, this is a large map. People like to tack up very quickly. So let me just 3-gate, and especially SOS, he's had a lot of success over the last few months by just 3-gating with aggression and having a late Robo behind it. So the Robo keeps you safe, you know, against Blink Stalkers, against Dark Templars, but at the same time, your 3-gate pressure can catch opponents off guard, and sometimes straight up win games. Now we already see the Sentry, so that could be a 1-gate fast expand for SOS. It could also be a Sentry to go into a Stargate, but most of the time, this means 1-gate fast expand.
Yeah, having that early force field allows you to push away early pressure, even following up with a second Sentry immediately afterwards. Does the map play into this as much? It's cross spawns on Cactus Valley, one of the largest rush distances you have between 2 bases in the map pool.
For sure, but I don't think SOS knows that yet because he hasn't scouted at all. I think he's in the dark. Now, his build is actually good against what Rain is doing so far. And it doesn't even matter whether or not Rain goes for Blink or if he goes for Dark Templars, because you follow this up with a Robo, unless you're very crazy and you go Stargate, but there we do see the robotics facility going down. Now, if Rain opens up with Blink Stalkers, Cactus Valley is not a map where there is a whole lot of surface area to blink into the main base. So in general, you want to make a couple of Blink Stalkers, but then you're going to just accept the fact that, okay, my opponent, he's going to pump out Immortals. I can't break him. I'm going to have to expand, but your expand will be later. So I kind of like the opening stages over here for SOS, but that's purely the build order. You're still going to have to execute things properly.
Yeah, so following it up very quickly with robotics facility for Rain, I'd imagine that this could possibly be related to, as you mentioned, the lack of information due to these very late scouts. He's not entirely sure what he's up against, and of course, you don't want to be caught with your pants down against Dark Templar. You need detection, or it's an insta-loss.
No, you're spot on. Like, we know what's going on, but right now, if you're in the shoes of Rain, you're still worried about an Oracle swinging in. You're worried about quick Dark Templars. You're worried about maybe this guy went absolutely crazy, you know, Blink Stalker attack, or he's going to 3-gate pressure me right now, and I need to be careful with my photon overcharge. By the time, okay, Rain is dropping an expand already, so I'm very happy to see that, because that means that he's not going to be stubborn, he's not going to try to win with 1 base blink, which is borderline impossible when you also get that safety Robo, and your opponent already has a robotics facility up and access to photon overcharge.
Yeah, I think having the Nexus done is the most important part for SOS this early on.
Yep.
That photon overcharge this early makes it very difficult to break off 1 base production.
Absolutely. So what does this mean? Well, it means that SOS is slightly ahead when it comes to the economy, slightly even 5-6 workers. That's pretty significant in this phase in PvP. But of course, Rain, he's going to have some map control, right? He's going to be walking around with his Blink Stalkers, making plays happen. Once again, very difficult on Cactus Valley. But as long as you're out on the map, that does give you the opportunity to keep your opponent in the dark. Maybe you can go up to 3 bases before him. Maybe somehow you can swing in with Stalkers, you know, the good old 4 Stalker hit squad, because that's all you need to one-shot probes, and then get out of there again. So sOs slightly ahead, but Rain has the opportunity to make plays.
And sOs finally gets that main base scout with the hallucinated Phoenix. 3 Stalkers are going to poke here. He does have Blink, so he shouldn't lose anything. And he gets an idea. He's like, okay, I stole maybe a Garden Shield from you. Maybe I can still pick something off here. And whoa, a hidden Nexus from sOs trying to hide some cheeky economy here, Roddy.
Yeah, well, the boys at the couch already said it. You know, sOs definitely the crazier of these two. If Rain could snipe that Observer, that would be massive. The Observers are so close to each other. Losing the Ops would be very, very painful for Rain in this phase in the game. He spots the Observer. sOs is going to get it.
He will lose it. That means no scouting of the main base. These 5 Stalkers can still put pressure on, but with the Immortal and that Fortune Overcharge, it's nothing doing for now.
Nope, once again, this is already what I mentioned, right? It's very hard to make plays happen with Blink Stalkers on Cactus Valley. So far, sOs choose an excellent build. And, well, Rain is actually going up to 3 bases very quick. This is 9 minutes, you know, going up to 3 bases in 9 minutes. That's normally very uncommon. Rain probably thinks, hey, I'm going up to 3 bases really quick, having no idea that sOs is actually doing what he's doing.
I mean, in a weird sort of way, because sOs is investing into this northeast base, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but shouldn't it be more difficult for him to use that ninja base now compared to the third, since he can't rally probes there from his main or natural?
Yeah, this is actually not all that bad for Rain, especially because I don't think sOs knows about that base yet. It's it's one of those accidental brilliant calls that you made if you're Rain. Like right now, Rain is worried about sOs marching across the map and putting on a lot of pressure, because when it comes to army supply, sOs is ahead, but above all, he's ahead with stronger units, right? He has Immortals, he has Soon Gate as well. So this is what you're worried about. You're not worried about your opponent having a hidden base.
Yeah, and other interesting things to note. We have a Warp Prism on the way, Blink for sOs, but that charge setup with Rain with very late gases on his natural. So many gateways, Roddy. Is this going to be a big Zealot push?
That could be brilliant, because sOs has no idea that this is happening. And if there is one thing that, you know, Immortals with charge are extremely good against, it's Immortals, especially when those Immortals are exposed. And it seems like sOs, he wants to be aggressive as well. Well, he does drop the RoboBay now, Nate, but he's getting 5 more gates. And he's getting Blink, so that still gives me the idea that he wants to make something happen with Blink Stalkers. And if he goes too aggressive, then maybe Rain, his Zealots, can catch sOs off guard. Like, the main reason why Rain is doing this is because he went up to 3 bases quicker, and he's expecting sOs to push out, right? Because that's normally what a 2-base Protoss does with a stronger army against a 3-base Protoss. So the Zealots, you know, they're awesome in defending against Immortals and Stalkers, but Rain, he needs to find out about that hidden base real soon, because that will completely change the way that he thinks about this game.
Yeah, he is going to go into that Templar Archive. Zealot's very mineral heavy, so he can dump all of his gas into Archons by getting this tech up. He hasn't taken the gases on the third yet, still just saturating it with probes, but the upgrades are close. Kev, whose position do you like more right now?
I think I like Rain's position more, but probably for different reasons than Rain likes his position more. Like sOs, he's going to try to see what's going on over here. He has to be very careful. He's not bringing his Mothership Core over here. If Rain would have a pylon in the middle of the map right now, and he would warp in 8 Zealots with charge, that would be the end of this army. Rain is probably looking at his army, and if I was Rain, I'd start bringing my Zealots, man. There's no Mothership Core here. This is your moment.
No ability to recall means if he gets caught by those charged Zealots, they can clean up and catch that gap. They can close the gap so fast, he'll kill everything. I
do love this by sOs, though, because he's giving Rain that exact idea, right? I'm going to attack you now. It's about time that I'm going to attack you, as 2 Zealots are unloaded in the natural mineral line.
Yeah, Warp Prism is spotted. It will make its way back towards that 3rd mineral line. Not picked off just yet. Templar Archives is about to finish for sOs.
Yeah, so Rain is going to have one problem soon, though. There is one Colossus out, and the second one is on the way. And these Colossus are phenomenal against every single unit that Rain currently has. So Rain is probably wondering, like, what on earth is going on in this game? I really don't get it. And that is, of course, because he still doesn't know about this hidden base.
Yeah, not having that information makes it very difficult for him to continue to push his tech and economy forward, because, as you said, he wasn't sure whether he'd be hit with a big 2-base committed push or not.
Yep, Rain is robotics base very late, so if I was Rain, I would start getting my 2nd robotics facility as soon as possible. Now, normally that's something you don't do, right? You don't go double robo against the guy that's supposed to attack you any moment now, because you feel like you won't get the value out of it before the big fight happens. That is because Rain is just being confused. If Rain knew what we knew, he'd be dropping a 2nd robo now. because he has to catch up in the Colossus count for sure.
It's a very tense moment. Rain is moving into a Warp Prism so that he can utilize that Charged Zealot upgrade, but still, at what point does that lack of Colossi tech or that delay in Colossi tech make this game irrecoverable for him?
Well, I don't think it's going to be irrecoverable anytime soon, but it is very important that he always finds himself in a good position, right? sOs has 3 Colossus now. If Rain wipes in Zealots from the right position, as this one Warp Prism almost dragged the other Warp Prism towards the hidden base, like Rain starts his first Colossus now, and that is something that he's probably quite pleased with. It's all going to come down to where Rain will warp in his reinforcements from. He has 4 Zealots in that Prism already. So if you drop 4 Zealots and you warp in 8 Zealots, flanking with 12 Zealots can make up for the fact that you don't have any Colossus. But his engagement is going to be perfect because this army of sOs is stronger, quite a bit stronger.
Yeah, those Colossi would love to fight by this choke. There's the Warp Prism reinforcing from the back. The Archons will also help kill. There's the first time where picks out the Mothership Core. Zealots are going to be dropped from behind on this army by Rain, but the Colossi are focus firing on the larger meteor part of this. The Warping from the behind is going to come in as well. The Archons are pushing forward. sOs is being pushed back into the corner, but it looks like his Warping will be enough to take this fight.
Brilliant positioning there by sOs, having a couple of Archons behind his army.
GG sOs takes game number 1. Kev, you said it perfectly. He didn't know about the third. He made some safer choices because of it. And, well, he lost because of it.